Welcome back to Queen's Place Amera Centre here in Liverpool, Nova Scotia. It is Thursday night action, draw 16 at the 2021 Home Hardware Canadian Curling Pre-Trials presented by New Holland. My name is Al Cameron from Curling Canada, joined once again tonight by Jeff Hofford, a member of Curling Canada's High Performance National Coaching Staff. And Jeff, we've got a big women's game tonight. Team Corinne Brown from Kamloops, British Columbia, and Team Krista McCarville, unbeaten Team Krista McCarville from Thunder Bay, Ontario. Two teams with a lot of experience at the national level, but obviously Team McCarville coming in with that unbeaten record. They can wrap up first place in their pool with a win tonight. So lots on the line. Team Brown needs to win to stay alive. So as we say, Jeff, lots on the line for both teams.
Yeah, this is a huge game. Krista McCarville's team's doing what Krista McCarville's team does, and they're playing really well and they're winning. And Corinne Brown got off to a really hot start, and unfortunately they're coming off a really tough loss from their afternoon game against Penny Barker. They gave up some unanswered points at the end to lose a game that they basically had in hand. So they're coming off a little bit of lull. Krista McCarville's coming off of obviously an unbeaten record, so the momentum's probably in their corner, but as we know in this game, sometimes that doesn't go that way.
We'll run down the lineups for both of these teams. Team Corinne Brown from the Kamloops Curling Club in Kamloops, British Columbia, and a little soft spot from here. That's my hometown where I learned to curl. It is Team Corinne Brown, skip Corinne Brown, third Aaron Pincott, the second is Desiree Hawes, and the lead is Samantha Fischer, coached by Allison McInnes. They have a 3-2 record coming into this game, and as you noted, a tough 9-4 loss, a 10-7 loss to Penny Barker of Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan this afternoon. So Team Krista McCarville, 4-0 coming into this game. The skip is Krista McCarville. The vice skip is Kendra Lilly. The second is Ashley Sipola. And the lead, Sarah Potts. And the coach, we all know him, we all love him. He's a former world champion, author of the best line call in curling history, Rick Lang. And we'll tell you more about that line call as the night goes on, but we all know we're talking about the infamous Moncton shot, executed by his longtime skick Al Hackner in the Brier final at Moncton. And of course Rick Lang, it couldn't have happened without him calling that line, Jeff.
Well, absolutely, and now he's the man behind the bench, and he just does a great job with any team that he works with. He was unbelievable in his role with Curling Canada, and now as a team coach for Team McCarville, I think he adds a lot for them, and just from a calming sense and strategy, hard to beat his knowledge. So really good there behind the bench.
So it is an open first end, and we can tell you that Team McCarville, as we noted, 4 wins in a row coming into this game, and a chance to wrap up first place. But interestingly enough, Jeff, I was talking to Rick Lang before the game, and the first thing he pointed out is if they lose their last 2 games, they likely will be out because the tiebreaker would not favor them, because the last 2 teams they face are other teams that have a chance to surpass them in the standings. That's Team Corinne Brown, and that would be Team Jacqueline Harrison. So there is lots on the line for, or pardon me, Team Barker would have plays McCarville. So lots on the line for both these teams tonight.
Way to stay positive there, Coach.
Yeah, no kidding, right? And he said that was a pre-game topic of discussion for the team, and obviously trying to keep them sharp for this game.
Yeah, although they're 4-0, they still need to finish this fight. It's they started really well, and if they keep doing what they've been doing, I like their chances, but they can't take any ends off. They have to continue with the same focus they've had for the last 4 games.
Really gotta go. Hard on the red sap. Really
trying to keep this one alive and make
red.
contact, and it will get the job done. Not necessarily with authority, but the rock is removed.
Try that again.
Krista McCarville has had the day off. They did not play at all today. Their wins were 7-5 over Team Justin Murphy, 8-7 over Team Harrison, 12-5 over Team Peterson, and 6-3 over Team Galusha. And as noted, in Pool A, they sit with a 4-0 record. Team Harrison at 3-1, and Team Barker and Team Brown at 3-2. The top 3 teams in each pool will advance to Saturday's playoffs. No tiebreaker games to be played. So head-to-head does mean something.
Well, and top 2 means something.
2 chances in the playoffs, that's right.
Yeah, if you're in the top 2, you get that second chance. That's coveted when you go into the playoffs. If you can have a slip-up and still be in the competition.
Aaron Pincott called to make the open hit.
So I think a nice open end here to start this game benefits Team Brown. They can settle in after a little bit of a crushing loss this afternoon. They can get their feet under them with a little more of a simple first end. So probably strategic on their part to just keep things a little easier.
And speaking about that game, they had it was a 4-4 tie against Team Barker this afternoon after 5 ends, and Team Brown actually exploded out of the gate out of the 5th end break. They stole 3 in the 6th end, but then Team Barker came back with 3 to tie the game in the 7th end, stole 1 in the 8th, stole 2 more in the 9th, and it was a 10-7 win for Team Barker. And in speaking with Coach Allison McInnes, who's worked with this team for a long time, and you talk about great coaches in British Columbia, she's done a wonderful job in Kamloops with this team. That was a challenge for a coach, right, to come off that game and have only 4 hours to regroup. And she said that they tried to keep things light, but they also had some serious discussions about taking ownership over what happened. Each player on the team had a role to play. They tried to have a good laugh, but they also wanted to make sure that their heads were in a good space. And you as a coach have faced that challenge in the past, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. And enough can't be said about the job Allison does with this team. She's outstanding with them from a strategy and obviously the interpersonal connection as well. And when that happens as a coach, you need to have a really good debrief. You need to really dive into what happened, what took place there, and take the things you can learn from it and then put it in the rearview mirror. Then your focus goes back to the road. It goes back to what's in front of you right now, and you have to focus on the task at hand opposed to dwelling on that loss. That loss happened. You can't change it. It's what are we going to do right now to make sure we make the playoffs.
So Krista McCarville already in the hack to take a run at this. Just another way to save some time. Not her first go-round in this pre-trials process. Krista has participated in the Home Hardware pre-trials on 3 previous occasions. In fact, all 3 times that this event has been played, she has been in it and qualified out of the pre-trials in 2017 as well as 2009. So she knows what it takes to succeed at this event.
Yeah, I think a lot's made about the fact that they don't play as much as many other teams, and they're not out there chasing the points that can get them directly into the trials. And you see it every year at the Scotties Tournament of Hearts, that they come out and they're a contender. Although they're not on tour all the time, the talent they have and the work they put in speaks for itself when they're at these big competitions. And that's why they have the success they have. So the fact that they don't have the points or the world ranking, don't let that fool you. The fact they are just as good as most of the other teams out there.
Well, I had a good talk with Rick Lang about that before the game, and we'll expand on that as the night goes on. But he was quick to point out, and quite rightly, that there aren't any teams in Canada that probably put in as much practice time as this team, both on the warm side and cold side of the ice in terms of training for events such as this. And that's why they arrive prepared without having played in those slams.
Yeah, there's more than one way to be ready, and doing that in the practice environment is, some would say, as important or more. So
going for the blank now, Krista McCarville trying to keep this line. Will they get it out? They will not. So a cheap hammer coming to Team Brown after this first end, as Krista McCarville will take the single and Team Brown will take hammer into the second end. So a little bit of a confidence boost there maybe for Team Brown.
Yeah, they got the simple end that I think they were going for, and in the end they got a little bit of a mistake and a cheap force. So move on to the second end with hammer.
Furthering on the thought about Team McCarville and what Rick Lang was saying, and he was pointing out the vast majority of high-performance women's teams, or men's teams for that matter, in Canada, do most of their championship preparation in-game, at events, at Grand Slams, at they're playing week in, week out. And he made the point, what other sport has you doing all of your preparation 95% in a game and only 5% of your time spent training?
Well, none. And most sports are 75 to 80% training, and game performance is the outcome.
Whereas this team probably follows the model of most other sports. Most of their time is spent training, throwing rocks. They're throwing a ton of rocks, probably every day, he suggested, at some point, along with 2 to 3 formal 2-hour practices a week. Their practice to game ratio is different than anybody else in Canada.
Well, and I think that they've proven that model works for them. Every time they go into any event, they're a contender. So it's not that they're just trying something that hasn't been proven. It's been proven by them that their model of practice first and play in some competitions and really prep for the big ones, it works.
And quite frankly, it doesn't just work for them. You look at how the European teams are preparing now. The Scottish program, the Russian program, the Swedish program, the Swiss program, way more time training than gameplay, and it's showing up at the World Championship, at the European, at the Olympics.
Yeah, it is. It's evident that the practice and the training they're putting in is leading to more made shots and less mistakes.
Of course, the other side of that coin is, for most Canadian teams, it's the gameplay that generates the sponsorship revenue that keep them afloat.
Well, they have to generate revenue in order to play. And there's always the aspect of chasing points, because you don't get into the big events like Grand Slams that provide the exposure for your sponsors if you don't have the points to do it. So there's a matrix there that really takes away from the opportunity to practice. It's difficult. It's difficult to find that balance.
So it's looking like we're going to have another open end here, Jeff. It looks like, no, maybe there's going to be a guard called here for Corinne Brown, ignoring that rock in the rings.
Yeah, they got that rock off the center line, so she's okay throwing up a corner here, knowing that the center's a little more open than it was when the end started.
Good thing you were paying attention while I was pontificating there.
You were doing a great job.
Well, one of us has got to pay attention.
Far off.
Second end action here at Queen's Place Amera Center at the 2021 Home Hardware Canadian Curling Pre-Trials presented by New Holland. 2 men's teams, 2 women's teams will qualify from this event and go straight to the Tim Hortons Curling Trials presented by AGI November 20th to 28th at Sasktel Center in Saskatoon. That's the event that will decide Canada's 4-player curling teams for the 2022 Winter Olympics in Beijing.
Hard, Sarah, hard. Hard, you gotta go. Keep going, hard, hard, hard. Keep going, go, 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 go. Okay, good, okay, good. Hack.
So that guard was shaded more to the center line on purpose. I think they only wanted to guard that outside half so they could bring the play back to the middle. So that's a pretty good shot thrown there, but you're going to see a chase here from Team Brown.
Little up. Hack. Queen, yep. Wait up. Wait up.
Des Hawes.
Whoa.
Of course, I'm sure she'll have some eyes on her tonight from Team Tardy, of her longtime boyfriend Tyler Tardy. And I'm sure there's some eyes on the rest of the team. Aaron Pincott's boyfriend, I'm sure, is tuning in. We'll say hello to Matt Dunstone out there in Kamloops as he prepares for those Tim Hortons curling trials.
He's pretty straight.
His team will be going to Saskatoon.
What weight, sorry? 10, yeah, 10.
It's an interesting dilemma for Team McCarville because there's a couple of big carrots dangling on a string for them this year. Obviously, they'd love to get to those Winter Olympics in Beijing, but that would mean they'd not be competing for a chance to represent Northern Ontario in their hometown Scotties right there in Thunder Bay in late January.
Yeah, it'd be so special for them to be able to play that event that they've been in so many times in their own backyard and be supported by their hometown fans. But if the Olympics is the alternative, I think that's okay.
Yeah, it's a good consolation prize.
Yeah. So Team Brown's going to use the corner they put up here. That Redstone not being a threat to them as they can get shot behind their own corner. So
We're back right now, actually. Oh, then. Yeah, we're deep right now. Sam's early. Back four.
Trying to see if they get a little movement on this to finish. Pretty nice.
yeah, it's in a good spot. Maybe a hair deep because the freeze can be made. and with a little bit of margin on that, but it's buried and it's shot rock, so goal achieved.
Ashley Sipola now trying to make this freeze.
You got room right now. Jasper, wait. Line's good. Hard. Go if you have to. Line's great. Hard. Hard, guys. Go. Hard. You really got to go. Yep. Keep going if you can.
Just a little light, despite the efforts.
Like that.
Up front. Pardon me, that was Kendra Lilly throwing that shot. My mistake.
Yeah, line was good on that, just a little light, so it gives the opportunity for Team Brown to split the house, separate their two stones, and set up the two-pointer.
Aaron Pincott lining it up.
Soft. Kevin.
Gotta go. Oh.
Yep. Please.
Oh, we're really down.
Please. Yep.
11.
Hard. No roll.
That'll roll in, and there's a little bit of an out available for Team McCarville.
Yeah, they can use that center guard if they choose to. It might be something, and since it's in the back of the house, it might be something to freeze to, but she's elected to play hack weight, and she'll, if she can get just a little across the face with this, she might remain buried. So yeah, big opportunity here to potentially take away what Team Brown had brewing.
Yep.
Really hard.
Hard. Gotta go. Really hard.
Ashley and Sarah working hard on this. I don't know if it's going to get by that guard.
Okay, roll it off.
Might have turned that one in right out of her hand. They picked her up right away.
I like open. Just kind of put it here.
So objective here is to spread these yellows out as much as they can. Leave no doubles, leave no easy places for Team McCarville to come in and remove a couple. Use the entirety of the rings.
I added, guys.
Gotta be 8 foot.
Keep looking.
Keep looking.
Team Brown
looking.
sitting a couple,
Keep
looking to
looking.
sit 3 with this.
Red post.
I think you're there.
Don't think you can hurt it, Sam. Can't hurt it.
Okay, you're good. Keep it going. Good spot. Good judge.
Nice throw. Yeah.
14-5.
Good placement there, and the pressure is really on now.
Nice throws.
Hit and roll, I guess, is an out.
Yeah, I think she'll try to hit and roll closer to that yellow in the back 4 foot and then group the stones a little more. If she can get in front of it, then Corinne will have to come and hit and roll on her next one. So this is a bit of a setup shot for her next one to maybe hold them to 2.
Yeah, we didn't sweep yours. Like, I
Yeah.
pulled it up behind a little bit.
You can hold it on that side.
Krista McCarville, bronze medalist at the Tim Hortons Trials previously, and also a bronze medalist at the Scotties.
Whoa. Ash. Hard, Ash.
Trying to see if they can get a little movement on this, but I don't think it's going to be right on the nose, so it is still Team Brown sitting a couple.
I want to go there. Yeah.
I missed
Less than that.
Yeah, Corinne can hit this one right on the nose and still be shot 3. And it'd be a pretty tough cross-house double there. It would be there with a ton of weight, but
Yeah.
there's really no better place to roll.
Corinne Brown, former Canadian Junior Women's Champion, won in 2013 at Fort McMurray, Alberta.
90. Yep. Please.
Whoa.
Please. No.
Whoa.
Oh.
Curl up in here.
Trying to get this to the nose, and that'll get the job done.
Yeah, I mean, we try even. If we don't come up, we do that. If not, try for that.
So, big pressure shot now for Krista McCarville, Jeff.
Yeah, a really well executed end by Team Brown to this point. They've managed to spread their rocks out really well and execute the shots that were called. So I think option A is the long hit and roll to freeze out the side yellow, and then potentially a draw for 2.
8.5.
We've seen time and time again already in this event that Krista McCarville can make big shots when they're needed, and this is a big shot that is needed.
Yes, hard.
And I think it's going to roll just underneath, and it will be a draw for 3 for Team Corinne Brown. Just caught in the middle on that line call, I think.
Yeah, it just curled up on them. They called it late. I think it was just maybe a little tiny bit late, but valiant effort. That was a long double.
And already, based on this end, they've got 2 in the bank, looking for 3. We can tell you definitively that whatever Allison McKinnis said over the last 4 hours worked really, really well.
Well done, Coach. You settled them in, and they came out with the first end with any complication and played a great end, and they're rewarded by this draw to the ocean for 3.
Might have heard the sweepers saying they really got to go. They do need full 12, biting the 8.
Looks pretty good.
I think they're all right. Good sweep, and it is a 3 for Team Corinne Brown. And it will be a 3-1 lead that they take into the third end here against Team McCarville at Queen's Place Amera Center in Liverpool, Nova Scotia. Nice to say that the rain has stopped. It's dried out a little bit out there. And it is a lovely part of Nova Scotia here on the south coast of this province.
Yeah, it's beautiful here. The weather was a little sketchy the last couple of days, but it's turned the corner, and yeah, it's such a beautiful part of our country.
The hotel is approximately 400 meters from the front entrance to the rink, and I'm not going to say I did it, but I did think about it. Driving from the hotel here, it was that miserable.
I did it.
Jeff Hoffert, ladies and gentlemen. Jeff Hoffert. I hope you claim mileage for that, too.
Oh, you bet.
So we get underway here in this third end. Samantha Fischer throwing lead rocks for Team Corinne Brown. She's 26 years old. And she is a frontline worker. She's a respiratory therapist at Royal Inland Hospital in Kamloops and was on the front lines during this entire pandemic. And boy, just a big tribute to all of the frontline workers in Canada. And she was certainly one of them that faced a lot of risk and did that job magnificently. And actually, Coach Allison McKinnis also served on the front lines working for the Interior Health Authority. She set up a lot of the vaccination clinics and the testing clinics in the Kamloops region as well as into the Okanagan region, and that was when vaccines started arriving in Kamloops. She was transporting them to various health clinics for delivery. So both of those members of Team Brown, just a big shout out to everything that you and your fellow frontline workers have done over the last 18 months of this COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah, if we could go back, sure. Yep.
Samantha, by the way, married to Jared Kolomaya, who many may remember. He played in Manitoba for a number of years before moving to British Columbia.
So it looks like a little bit of a mistake there from Team McCarville. I believe that was a call for a corner guard. Just slips into the house, allowing Team Brown to remove it.
The open hit for Samantha Fischer.
Anything in her. Anything in. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Oh, yeah.
And they will sit 2.
Good call.
So Sarah Potts, the lead for Team McCarville. 32 years old. She's a social worker for the St. Joseph's Care Group.
Stay close.
And happens to be Rick Lang's daughter and the daughter of Lorraine Lang, who is a 2-time Scotties champion, a former world champion. So there's a championship pedigree in that family, to say the very least.
Should I just ripping that?
Just a little deep on that, and
You might kind of chunk it in
available to sit 3 here for Team Brown.
Yeah, I'm not sure that helps them. I kind of like the thought of just getting rid of it. If they sit 3 in that area of the house, it just creates a bit of a wall or a basket for Team McCarville to use. So I think Corinne's instinct just to get rid of it was the way to go.
Clean. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yep. Yep. Hard roll. Oh, shit. Keep roll. Sorry,
And there is that pocket you spoke about.
Yeah, you threw that really
Yeah, it's all great that you're sitting 3 right now, but there's lots of rocks to come, and I think if you're Krista McCarville, you're happy where those are at.
Yeah. We just have to clean up. Yeah. Good throw. Yeah, shoot.
Ashley Sipola, the second for Team McCarville.
It right there.
34 years old, a lab technician at Thunder Bay Regional Health Sciences Center. So obviously was kept busy over the last 18 months as well as a healthcare worker, and I'm sure she's relieved as anybody else to be back on the ice playing the sport she loves.
We're 3.
So there you hear it. Team Brown sitting 3.
Here. That's a look at well. Yeah. I was gonna say it took like a different path than yours, but just
Yeah, they're opting to ignore that opponent's stone and just put one in the way of that pocket, which is a bit more aggressive than they need to be right now. But if they put this one in a good spot, it might take away some of the use from those back stones.
Desiree Hawes, senior administrator at MNP LLP. She's 24 years old.
top 4. It's got a curl. Whoa,
Played
guys,
with Team
I think it's
Brown
all
for a
there.
couple
Whoa,
years
guys.
now.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa.
I don't want this too terribly deep.
Nice throw, Des.
Good weight, good judge. 14.
And it will come in. And as you say, Jeff, that's
You like that?
looks great for yellow, but I think there's opportunities to be had there for red.
You have a wall here. Just a hair of a roll, I think.
Yeah, sometimes your stones can, as I mentioned, be helpers for the opposition. They can get in the way. They can be easy to freeze too, or they can be in the way of removing the stones you put in. So we'll see if that's the case for those 3 rocks at the back of the house.
Little solid.
Yep. Yep. Hard. 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 You gotta go.
Trying to
Go,
keep
go,
this
go,
straight.
Go. Hard. Hard, hard, hard.
So now is Team Brown sitting 1, but it is McCarville sitting 2nd.
10-5. No.
And you got to respect the fact that there are some catchers here.
Yeah, it just makes the removal of this, like, if you're not right on nose here, you could jam it on the back and leave the red stone in play. It's still a quite makeable shot. And I like Aaron's chances. It just makes it a little tougher.
Yep.
Erin Pincott, 25 years old. She's a sport performance coordinator for Pacific Sport Interior BC, working out of the Tournament Capital Center in Kamloops. And making that shot.
Good to see you guys.
Speaking of curling bloodlines, she's got some herself. Her grandfather, Grant Young, played for Barry McPhee at the 1981 Brier. So, and as a Kamloops guy growing up, Grant Young had one of the most contorted tuck deliveries I have ever seen, but he sure made it work, and that guy could sweep. And I guess that's an exposure of how old I am.
Yeah, you revealed something there, Al.
Yep.
It's wisdom.
Yes.
That's right. That's exactly what it
Hard.
is.
Really hard. Really hard. Gotta go. Hard.
It's the double there. Just going to go over the top, and they'll lose the shooter.
Yeah, I think so. Even just top 8. Yeah.
Aaron and Corinne, by the way, have played together for a long time. They played at 2013. Before that, for sure, they won the Canadian Juniors, but they also won Canada Winter Games together in 2011, out in just up the road in Halifax, as a matter of fact. So Aaron, Corinne, as well as Samantha Fischer, were all members of that team that won the Canada Games gold medal up in Halifax in 2011.
Top 12. Hard. Hard.
Line's great.
So at least a decade.
Top 4. You got it. Thank you. Great sweep, you guys.
Nice job. Got it, girl.
So another shot called and made by Team Brown. They're executing at a really high level so far in this game.
Yeah.
Like this way?
Pardon?
Do you like this way?
I think so.
Okay.
Okay.
We've seen Krista McCarville get off to some slow starts in this event, though, and somehow they are able to flip the switch.
Can I have a hair more?
Well, when you work as hard as they do and you're as good as they do, you don't stay down for long. You don't really have bad games, you might have bad ends, and I expect that they're going to turn things around at some point soon here in this game.
Yeah.
Kendra Lilly, she's 30 years old. She's an operations manager at DKB Financial Services Group, Incorporated.
Yes, yes. Ash, roll.
She will get
Go. Right out.
almost double, but leaves the shooter in a good spot, too. That's the key in that shot.
Oh, I guess you could,
It rolled far enough that
yes. Ash, roll.
the red at the top out counts it now.
Read out.
Talking about those Team McCarville games, they were down early against Team Murphy. They gave up a deuce in the second end, and they were down 3-1 after 4 ends before coming back. Then their next game against Team Harrison, they gave up a 3-steal in the 5th end of that game, but came back with a deuce and 6, steal of 1 and 7, steal 2 and 8, and got that 8-7 win. So they've faced adversity here in this event and managed to do well despite it. The last 2 games have been a little more closer to form, 12-5 over Team Peterson, 6-3 last night over Team Galusha. But down 3-1 against a very good and hot shooting Team Brown. Trying to keep that angle to avoid the jam. Very nice. So Team Brown is now sitting a pair.
Yeah, she brought the weight up there to make sure that didn't over curl, and she jammed it. So that was a smart way to play that shot. They're still sitting 2. The force is still on. And that would have been their objective coming into this end. So far, so good. 2 Krista McCarville stones to come, and the freeze has been elected
Okay, so back 4.
here on the stone that's nibbling the back forefoot.
Krista McCarville, she's 38 years old. She's a teacher for the Thunder Bay Catholic District School Board. And of course, it was that teaching position that led to the very, very tough decision, roughly about a year ago, as a matter of fact, that her team would not play as Team Northern Ontario in the Scotties Tournament of Hearts in the bubble in Calgary. Just the travel restrictions, the quarantine restrictions for the team, all with their families. It was just decided that the team couldn't make the trip, and they stayed home and watched the Scotties.
Watch it, it's Frosty in the middle. Stay close.
That's going to have to move some.
Hard, Sarah!
Yep, go. Okay, that's fine.
So pretty good weight, just potentially too much broom on that one.
10-5.
Just maybe not curling as much tonight as they anticipated.
So we'll see Corinne Brown, 26 years old. And you talk about front lines. She's a provincial air tanker center dispatcher for the BC Wildfire Service. So you know she had a busy summer in Kamloops, as we all in that area lived through the fires of 2021, of the summer of 2021. And I can tell you the smoke was not to be believed at times in the Kamloops region. So our thanks to Corinne for all the work she did in the summer helping navigate that situation.
10-8. Or sorry, 10-2. Clean. Yep. Oh, yes, clean. Yep.
Looks like another good one here.
We talked about bloodlines on that team. Her dad, Ken Brown, but known universally as Downtown Kenny Brown, and Kamloops played in a couple Briars, again with Barry McPhee, 96-97. Hometown Briar in 1996, 1997 at Calgary at the Saddle Dome. So, and he was coaching the team, as a matter of fact. Ken was, when they won the 2013 juniors in Fort Mac.
That's a great nickname.
Downtown Kenny Brown. There's a guy who could chuck some high heat. 5-second peels. Ha! I laugh at your 5-second peels. Give me 4.5.
So right on nose here, or maybe a little to the inside, will get her 1 point.
Clean. Clean. Yep. Yep. Hard. Go. Clean. Clean. Yep. Go. Clean. Clean.
Looks pretty tasty from here, Jeff.
I think it's good, yeah, well done.
So,
Yeah, tried all end to generate some offense with some freezes and sitting in front of it, but the execution from Team Brown just didn't allow for that. They're coming out firing tonight, playing great.
So we'll go to the fourth end, and Team Brown will take a 3-2 lead and the hammer into that fourth end. And they got to be very, very pleased with the way they've played these first 3 ends.
Yeah, it's a dream start with they got a break in the first end to get the force. It was just a little mishap by skip Krista McCarville, but coming back with a 3 in a really well executed end, and then doing it again to force in the third end, just with really good precision. They're putting the broom down in the right spot, they're throwing the right weight, and they're getting the result.
Full slate of 5 games being played tonight here at the Queen's Place Amera Center, and all of them with plenty on the line. We'll just give you a quick run through of the scores, which you can find all the time at curling.ca/scoreboard. That's curling.ca/scoreboard. Playing the third end, Team Brothers and Team Anderson, and quite a start to that game. Team Joe Brothers 0-4 from Halifax, score 3 in the first end. Then Sherry Anderson and her team from Martinsville, Saskatchewan, they're 3-1. They come back with a 4-ball in the second end. So it's a 4-3 lead. Team Brothers with hammer in the third. Team Suzanne Burt from Prince Edward Island, the Montague and Cornwall clubs, they're 3-1 coming into this game, and they've opened up with a couple of single points in the first and second ends. They lead 2-0 over Team Darcy Robertson from Winnipeg, who has a 3-2 record. And also tonight, Team Mackenzie Zacharias from Altona, Manitoba. They are in a game with a fellow 2-2 team, Team Danielle Inglis from Ontario. And it is a 1-0 lead for Team Zacharias playing the third end.
Let it work. Whoa, let it work.
And we do have one men's game going on. That is Team Glenn Howard, whom we saw win last night over Team Tardy out of Penetanguishene, Ontario. And they are in a 2-1 lead over fellow Ontario team skipped by Pat Ferris. So 2-1 for Team Howard, who can take a big step towards the playoffs. He's got a 2-1 record. Team Ferris at 0-3. In our game, it is a 3-2 lead for Team Corinne Brown from the Kamloops Curling Club in Kamloops, BC, over Team Krista McCarville from Thunder Bay, Ontario. And it is Team Brown with hammer.
Yeah, we spoke about the couple games where Team McCarville was down. I don't think they're going to panic in this situation. They're down one without Hammer, but I can't see them selling the farm this early in the game.
You can't go top 8.
I think they're just going to stick to their game plan and try for a maybe even a simple force here, get the Hammer back. And there's lots of game left, and I think they know that.
Gotta go. Try to bury it. Get shot.
I gotta say, you're the second person I've heard use selling the farm in that context today. I hadn't heard that too terribly often in curling context, but Penny Barker said the exact same thing when I asked her about what was the approach after giving up the 3 steal against Team Brown this afternoon. See, full circle here, Jeff.
See,
Very
there you
nice.
go. It's growing up in Saskatchewan.
Yeah, I guess so.
Maybe it's a Saskatchewan term.
She said we didn't want to have to sell the farm right away. Let's just work toward deuce, and they got a 3.
Well, it worked for them.
It worked. So we'll see if Team McCarville knows not to sell the farm. Although being from Thunder Bay, I'm not sure that's a big expression there. Maybe someone from Thunder Bay could let us know at Curling Canada's Twitter account at Curling Canada. Is selling the farm a curling expression in Thunder Bay? Let us know. So it is Team Brown with last rock. They got one pretty buried in the 8-foot. Team McCarville looks like they're going to try and get around those two, though.
Okay. Where are we? Going around again or no? Yep. Go, Sarah, hard. Hard, Sarah, hard. Hard, Sarah, gotta go. Hard, Sarah, gotta go. We're by. Keep going. Go.
I think the call was the freeze, actually, and they called an audible, as our friend Russ Howard would like to say.
Yeah, that's the second time they've done that. It seems like they think the ice is going to curl more than it is this evening. So there's been several rocks on the under curl for them. So I think they'll be aware of that and make the adjustment.
10-5.
Yep. Whoa, yep. Hard.
Desiree Hawes trying to remove that red stone, see if they can roll it away, but they will not.
Just more. So little flop. 10.
10.
So try for the same result here that they were going for with the freeze, but they'll achieve it with a hit and roll this time, or attempt to.
Whoa! No! Whoa, Kendra, gotta go hard. Gotta go! Hard. Okay.
That'll roll out
10-4.
into the open.
Same weight!
So club curler Jeff in this scenario might look at that and say, let's try for the hit and roll behind the 2 guards, but that's not the call here.
No, they want to keep those rocks separated in the house. They don't want to leave Team McCarville any kind of a double. Because we're getting to the point in the end where Team McCarville might be looking at trying to clean up the yellows instead of using them for her advantage.
Whoa! Clean!
It's nice.
Yep! Whoa! Yep! Roll it a bit, Sam, roll it. Good.
Yeah, great shot there. Separating the house, no doubles. Leaves for a longer hit and roll.
Go,
9.
Going 9. We know this.
So electing to throw a little harder weight than they were throwing in the middle, and I think that's for 2 reasons here. The roll is longer, so they need a little more steam on this rock to make that roll. And it's also they're going out in the wings a little bit where it might be just a little fresher and not played as much so far. So
All right. They're sliding that way.
Just not quite sharp, this
Yeah.
McCarville team yet.
yeah,
Yet.
and we just got an indication there that it was potentially the slide. She's just maybe a little bit wide when she goes to her right. So if Eric can put this rock exactly where that other yellow was, that'd be a made shot.
This team did compete at the Canadian Curling Direct Entry Trials event in Ottawa last month. Had a chance to get a berth directly into the trials, but lost a qualifying game to Laura Walker of Edmonton. We have to see if they can drag this into the paint.
You got it, Sam, you got it. You got it, you got it, you got it, you got it. Woo, great sweeping.
I think that's on.
Great sweeping is right. That didn't
job.
look there from our vantage point, and they
Sure
got
did.
it there. Really good.
Like 8.5.
Never gave
more.
up. They did leave a double, however, but it's on the paint for now.
And we do have a response from Thunder Bay. I can confirm that selling the farm is not something they say in Thunder Bay, but we are told that they say camp for cottage and pack sack for backpack.
How about bunny hug? Do they use that one there?
Roll, 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 roll. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, I think that's pure Saskatchewan right there, my friend. Pretty good roll there. But it is still Team Brown sitting shot and a chance to draw to sit 2.
This is a bit more ice because you kind of have to be full lane in case they do that.
Curran gave us all the explanation we need for where this rock needs to end up.
I feel kind of redundant here. Not the first time.
T-line. Careful. Running.
It's curling early.
Line's good.
Have a look, have a look, have a look. Right here. I think it's got to sit. I think it's got to sit. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Nice. That's good.
And I think that will be second shot.
Probably that.
I think so.
Yeah, it looks like it's second shot. A good shot there by Aaron Pincott. Made the adjustment.
All right, let's go at 9. I think 9 is good for this roll.
So another hit and roll being asked of skip Krista McCarville. This one's tough because it's already behind the tee line, and she has to roll
Okay, 9.
quite a ways and stay high enough to remain
Yeah, roll the way
shot
up if you can,
or
yeah.
at least second shot. Shot would be ideal.
These teams have only met once head-to-head, and that took place at the Scotties Tournament of Hearts, the 2020 Scotties in Moose Jaw. It was a 7-6 extra end win for Team McCarville in that game.
Hard! Whoa! 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 Yes! Yes! Hard!
I think she's close.
Hard, 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 hard.
Just gonna roll a little too far.
Yeah, that was really close. When it just over rolls like that, that means it over curled by a tiny amount with the weight that she threw at that. So really close.
A bit sticky.
Yeah.
Good throw.
They're not far off.
No, and that's just an unfortunate result given how well she threw that rock and the way they managed it, the on-off. That tells you that they thought it was close as well. But big opportunity here for Team Brown to split the house again and
Fully.
set up a multiple.
They've definitely worn out this path.
Yeah, and
They
they
should
probably
know
want
it.
this at least as deep as Aaron's was, just so they don't leave
Sliding more than yours.
the hit and roll.
No, it has to sit.
Gotta sit. Whoa!
Has to sit for line.
Whoa!
They don't want this, they need this second shot. I think it should be all right.
Can't sit here.
Might be the bailout here on the hit and roll, though.
Yeah, it's the same shot she just threw. And how close she was last time, I think she'll be the same this time, maybe with not letting it curl up and not or just as much. So
Okay, same thing.
2017 Home Hardware Pre-Trials in Summerside. Team McCarville was unbeaten at that event to qualify for the trials in Ottawa.
Close. No, 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 no. No, no, no. No, no, no.
So it will be a draw. Will they hit? I think it's a draw, eh?
Yeah, they have a choice, I guess. They could hit and roll in off that side one. I don't think that's what they've chose. I think they're going to draw the 8-foot for their 2 points.
Do you want just a hair less than that?
Pardon?
Do you want just a hair less than that one?
The one you just threw?
Yeah.
Yeah, here.
Corinne Brown, chance to put another crooked number on the scoreboard, but her sweepers sure backed off in a hurry.
Wait on me! Whoa! No! No!
Full 8-foot.
No!
That's what they need. That might be a little warm, Jeff.
Looks like it.
Will it stop in time? It will not. And it will be just a single point, and a 4-2 lead for Team Brown, but one that got away from them there.
Yeah, that's an extra point they could have hung on the scoreboard. You could argue that she just threw a draw in the other path, the one that was away from center line. But I would tend to agree with what she chose, because the 8-foot's thicker in the middle than it is on the sides. The rings go away from you as you move further away from the center line. So the margin's actually bigger when you go to the middle. So I like her opting to draw to the middle there. I think she just threw it a little too hard, and that's going to happen. That's okay. They got their point.
Up 2 is never a bad thing.
Yeah.
Just looking back at those 2017 pre-trials in Summerside, just looking at how Team McCarville went through that event, they did actually win their last 4 games there, and they've won their first 4 games here, so on an 8-game winning streak at the Home Hardware Pre-Trials that date back to 2017.
They had a pretty good run at the trials that year too, if I remember correctly.
Why don't we just look that up?
Well, Al, you got the technology.
Curling.ca/scoreboard is where I'm finding all this, by the way. It's another cheap plug for
Line's good.
a great scoring site that we run.
Line's great. Running nice.
Top 8.
15.
4-4 record at the trials that year in Ottawa. Their last game happened to be against Team Sweeting, with the gentleman to my left coaching them, Jeff Hoffert.
Yeah, that is correct.
Yep.
It's an amazing event to be at. If you ever get the chance to go check out the Roar of the Rings, it's amazing. Just the level of play that happens there, and the level of intensity that everyone has.
I was going to say the level of tension.
It's something like I've never experienced in any curling event. The prize is so grand that everybody's just so intense, so dialed in, and they've worked for 4 years to get there. It's amazing. It's something to behold for sure.
Well, even if you go to a Scotties Tournament of Hearts or a Tim Hortons Brier, there's silver medals, bronze medals, pretty good money for those second and third place teams. At the Tim Hortons curling trials, there's no consolation prize. It's all or nothing.
Yeah, and the prize is what everybody in this sport is striving for.
Fifth end underway. It is Team Brown up 4-2, but it is Team McCarville with hammer in this fifth end, trying to manufacture something, getting a little bit of a break in that last fourth end. So let's see if Team McCarville can take advantage. Good start here from Team Brown, though.
Yeah, they got their rocks on the center line. They're mostly lined up. Team McCarville threw up the corner guard to start, and it looks like they're going to try to bring the play back to the middle here and chip that one onto the forefoot and maybe roll away.
Yes! Hard line, really hard line. Yes! Hard! Hard! Hard, 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 hard. Whoa!
Oh, well done. They removed the shot from the top of the forefoot, and hopefully they'll expand the scoring zone with that. I think they played that the right way as well. They played that tight, so just in case it does overcurl, they're still going to catch the guard and roll their shooter into the rings. And with the free guard zone rule, you're not allowed to remove that guard, but you can move it. So if they did happen to overcurl that one, they'd still be okay.
Whoa, whoa! Whoa! Anything, Aaron, anything. Yours goes in. Yours just goes in. Okay. Get ready.
Good throw there from Desiree Hawes, and now, again, Team Brown sitting 2. And I think if we can say anything, the last 3 ends in particular, Team McCarville has been chase mode every end, and even in this end already, it's a little bit of a chase.
Yeah, they have, but the rocks are spread out. They're not condensed on the center line and in front of the tee line. So this is actually not a bad situation for Team McCarville. They have rocks to work with, and they have a corner guard up. So
try. Yep, hard. Okay, no. Same weight, Des. Same weight.
I think they're a good one here, buddy. Let's go.
So objective here for Team Brown is to bring things back to that center line.
Trying to keep this online. That's Aaron Pincott leaning into it.
Really hard. No roll, no roll, no roll, no roll, no roll. Hey.
Rocks never listen.
Unfortunate. Wouldn't that be great, hey?
Really? I like that.
One day, one day.
What? No, you don't like that? You don't like that?
Yeah,
Couple of options here. Looks like they'll draw behind the center guard, Jeff.
Yeah, the double is obviously there on those two rocks that sit just behind the forefoot on the left side as we look at the screen. But they might, again, help Team McCarville later as they do sit behind that tee line, and they could be used as something that catches a red stone later.
Hey, line's good. Yep, Sarah. Hard line, really hard line.
we've got our
Is it going to be a little
it's
tight? Yep, I
Looks
think
like
that's...
it's not there.
So Team Brown, Corinne Brown's going to put that broom down and try and get something behind those guards.
Those two yellows behind the forefoot might not be helping Team Brown, but this one will. If they can get this in the top of the forefoot buried, it's advantage Team Brown.
Line's great. Hard line. Real. Whoa, guys. Oh.
Pretty nice. I think they'll be able to see a portion of that, at least half.
Yeah, she didn't get it fully buried. I think it's undercover. Yeah, it's enough that the roll under can't be made. So
Right.
they have to deal with it.
It's not easy, though.
Yeah, it looks like those guards might be queued up to go right into that rock that was just thrown. So they could open up the middle and
Blast it.
make some noise in the house at the same time.
Good try.
I think this is worth it. If nothing else, it opens up that forefoot for them. Time to bail.
Kendra Lilly being asked to play the big weight
Hard.
hit.
Yes. Hard. Hard, 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 hard. Go, 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 go. Hard, hard, hard.
That got a lot of rocks moving, and I think it's a much better situation now.
Yeah, it's a great shot. There's nothing covering the center line out front now. That's ideal. And they moved the rock that was in the top 4 foot. So great shot there.
Or just rip that.
Still sitting 2, Corinne Brown. And they'll just decide to remove that corner guard.
Yeah, it's a high corner guard. It's unlikely to come into play, but there's not a great spot in the house where Team Brown can put this, so getting rid of the guard that might hurt you later is the right thing to do.
Probably the only rock out there that could lead to a deuce for McCarville at this stage.
Yeah, for sure, and you'd hate to bring one in the house and have it go deep and have it hurt you later, so.
That's fine. Good call. Yep. Nice one.
So still staying in the offensive mode here. A tap's been called to create a pocket in the back of the house. So I think about square on the nose here would be and tap it straight back about 2 or 3 feet, 2 feet.
I guess, is this kind of a byproduct of really needing to make something happen at this stage in the game and change some momentum? Because a lot of people might just say, let's see if we can get a blank in this end and move into the 6th.
Yeah, and you could do that for sure.
Go, go, go. Hard, 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 hard.
Yeah, a spark is what they might need, so that's why they're potentially pushing a little harder in this end than they could. I mean, really, they're only down 2. It's an odd end. It's the 5th end. There's still half the game you have to play after this. So sure, they could have just walked up, made that double, and moved on to the next end after a blank. And they may still be able to do that after this rock. It's just going to have to be done with skip stones.
Corinne Brown will play the hit on the open Team McCarville red stone. That will sit, and it will be Team Brown laying 3.
Sorry,
That's a good shot. If she would have rolled the other way, then a potential triple to set up the blank would have been there. So we're going to see another freeze attempt. At this point, I think Team McCarville knows they're forced, so they might as well try anything to generate a second point. Skips deuce.
Okay, back 8. Same as a couple ends ago? A little bit? Yeah. A little bit heavier, right?
That's a pretty pure delivery, isn't it, Jeff?
Yeah, it's very good.
Hey,
Outstanding. And always the same.
Close.
That's key.
Stay close. Hard Line's good. Hard Ash. Hard Ash. Hard.
Keep going, keep going.
Hard. Hard Ash. Hard.
Produces a pretty good result, too.
Yeah,
My
great shot.
goodness. Look at this outcome.
Hard Ash.
Good management, good line call, good sweeping by Ashley Sipola.
Yeah, I think they knew the weight the whole way, and they knew it was just sweeping for line because when they swept it, they knew it was going to get there. And just a really well-managed shot. It can be removed here still if it's hit on the high side, as it's not dead nose. So with a lot of weight here, Corinne throwing her intern, if she gets this on the high side, that red should still spring out of there with these rocks and the lively houses.
By intern, you meant clockwise rotation takeout, I'm sure.
I said her intern.
That's true. Fair enough. Fair enough.
That's just a scapegoat there.
trying to get that red one out. And mission accomplished. Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the bonus is that those yellows were stacked behind it, so one yellow sticks around, so it doesn't produce a blank attempt here. The force is still on.
So it will be Team McCarville. Krista will have to draw full 8 foot for single, looking at a couple of Team Brown counters. So
Very similar, same ice.
another example, the third straight time that Team McCarville will have hammer and likely be forced to a single point.
Yeah, objective achieved again for Team Brown. They executed another really solid end.
A little less, yeah. Line's the same.
Line is good. Yep, line's good.
Line's good. Line's the same.
Stop. There it goes. Keep a broom on it.
That looks pretty good.
The arm goes up early. I think it's an indication that it's good. Good shot.
So it will be a single point for Team McCarville. It will be a 4-3 lead for Team Corinne Brown. They'll go into the fifth end break. We'll take our fifth end break as well. We'll be right back to Queen's Place, Amera Center after this.
Sweep! Sweep! Hurry! Hurry! Hard! Hurry hard! Hard! Hurry hard! 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 Yeah! Woo! We should really be curling.
One might say I was born to overcome challenges. 2 months premature, in and out of the hospital, and a heart condition. My parents call me their miracle baby. As with all survivors, I searched for my place in this world, and I found it here. This pebbled ice is where I battle now, and at only 12, I am already a 5-year veteran of this sport. I have my sights set on the Olympics. I will push hard to get there. The only size that matters in this sport is the size of your dreams.
Before there was ice, there was our hallway at home. I was always the shy, quiet kid who loved math. But when I saw math come alive in the geometry of the game, I found my passion and my voice. It's a game of precision, a game of inches. It's the equation that now defines who I am.
Welcome back to Queen's Place, Amera Centre in Liverpool, Nova Scotia. It is Thursday night action at the 2021 Home Hardware Canadian Curling Trials presented by Home Hardware. Canadian Curling Pre-Trials presented by Home Hardware. And it is going into the sixth end. My name is Al Cameron from Curling Canada, joined by a member of our high-performance coaching staff, Jeff Hoffert. And we've got a very entertaining game through 5 ends. It is Team Corinne Brown from Kamloops, British Columbia with a 4-3 lead and hammer in this sixth end against Team Krista McCarville from Thunder Bay, Ontario. And Jeff, you being the coach in this broadcast booth, I'm going to ask you what you might have said to both of these teams if you were their coach at the fifth end break.
Well, we'll start with Team Brown, and they're just executing at such a high level in this game. They've put the broom down with confidence. They've thrown the rock really well, and they've come away with really good results on all their shots, and they've been able to, the three ender in the second end was just a really well developed end all the way through, and they held it up throughout the course of the end and came away with hanging that crooked number. And even in the fourth end, they had a pretty simple shot for two, which unfortunately slipped a little deep, but overall they have to be really happy. So I'm sure Coach Alison McInnes was just telling them to stay the course, and whatever they're doing is working, and to be proud of themselves for that first half, but focus on the second half and keep things where they're at. And Team McCarville, Rick Lang is probably talking about how close they are and how everything they're doing is just a little off. So maybe tightening the screws just a little on that execution, and I think they'll have the ice figured out a little better now than they did in the first half of the game, and they're not going away. They've been trying to develop offense the entire time, and in every time they've had the hammer, they've pushed for it, and I think that's going to continue. And we've seen them in this competition so far. When they get down, they're not down for long. So if I'm Team Brown, I know that, and I know they're going to be coming at us, and I think we're going to have a really good second half of this game.
You always wonder, too, Jeff, if the fact that they hadn't played a game yet today, Team McCarville, they didn't come to the rink until this 8 o'clock draw, Atlantic time, and maybe all that time away from the rink, you just get a little, not that much time away from the rink, but relative to Team Brown, who did play a game this afternoon, you wonder if that has an effect.
Well, it could, and the ice could be different tonight than it was yesterday. It does change throughout the course of a competition, and potentially this sheet is different than the other sheets that they've played on thus far. So it does take some time to figure it out, and Team Brown did have the advantage of playing earlier today and knowing what the ice was doing. So yeah, it does make sense that had something to do with it.
This ice has been superb, as you might expect from Dave Merklinger. His crew has done an outstanding job here at Queen's Place Amera Centre in Liverpool. Despite that tough weather outside, it really hasn't had an effect inside. And even if there's a couple of runs here and there, ice reading is a skipping skill.
Oh,
and
big
you
time.
gotta have it, regardless if it's good ice, which we have here, or if it's bad ice.
Yeah, it's something that all of these skips need to know how to deal with. And there's changes in the ice, even really good ice changes. So knowing how to read that is, like you say, it's a giant skill and can be a huge advantage.
Think half for Akai, try to roll the yellow on. 8.5 smooth.
8.5 smooth. I like the sounds of that.
That's a good call.
Reminds me of Team Tardy in their prime with the Minty Fresh.
Yeah, we heard that last night, just
heard
not
it,
very
Minty.
loud.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Close.
Watch it.
Will it sit in the rings or will it spin out?
Sorry.
I think it's going to stay. I don't think it's going to stay, Jeff.
It's close. It's hard to tell from here, but it looks that might be on. Might have been just smooth enough, Al.
Ooh,
Well,
I don't
no.
know. There's a little white there.
There's some white.
I'd still run the bar around that. Just for funsies.
Just for fun, yeah.
You never know if it might clank. So it is Team McCarville sitting shot. And no guards out in the front. So that was a good play from Team Brown to clear out the front of the house and maintain some control.
Yeah, and then we'll see the guard replaced here.
No, Sarah.
Is what the
Kendra,
skip's
go.
asking for.
Go, Sarah. Go, Kendra. Go, Kendra. Go. Both of you. Go. Got to bring it tighter. Go. Hard. Cross center a little. Hard. You got to go. Go. Okay, good. No clue where to put it.
Well done there. Objective achieved. And Corinne doesn't like that there, so she's going to have Desiree Hawes remove that.
Clean. Good. Nice throw, Des. Really good. Nice pair.
Called and made.
So we might see this go on for a little while. Guard up, guard removed,
Same way, halfway tight.
until someone decides to make a play in the house.
You talk about experience at the skipping position. Team Corinne Brown obviously has played at a high level out of BC for quite a few years. Played in the last 2 Scotties Tournament of Hearts, and her junior experience is well chronicled. But Krista McCarville has played at a supremely high level of curling for a long time, and still has a lot of good curling in front of her too. Do you think that makes a difference as we get into the late stages of a game like this?
Oh, for sure, and late stages of a competition like this. I think it's never comfortable being in these later stages of the competitions, but for someone who's been there so many times, it's more comfortable. It seems more normal. The pressure is embraced a little easier, and when you're new to these types of competitions that have Olympic implications, it does feel different. So yeah, I think that experience is huge for not only Krista McCarville, but her entire team.
Yeah, she's been through this trials grind a number of times before. This is the first time for Team Brown. And as much as you say, you know what, this is just a sheet of curling ice, I've been on curling ice all my life, when you know what's at the end of this trail, potentially, and you think about that, it's hard to put it to the back of your mind, isn't it?
Well, you say that all the time. You say, well, just take it one rock at a time, one end at a time. But yeah, it'd be awesome if you could do that. But how does it not creep into your mind what you're playing for? You know that at the end of this, it could lead to a maple leaf with Olympic rings on it. It's just something that I know every one of these athletes has thought about.
So as a coach, what do you say?
Gotta go.
One rock at a time, one end at a time. No, you try to put things in perspective.
Coming in.
Yep, keep going.
You just try to keep things in perspective and focus on what you can do at this moment or in this game to, improve your chances and focus on the process all the time. You're not talking about when we win this game, we're going to be one step closer to the Olympics. You're just trying to keep everything in perspective, like I said, and just the process as much as possible, knowing that some of those thoughts are going to creep in.
Whoa.
Really thin. It's fine. Good.
Quick update on the other games on the ice. Three other women's games going on. It is Team Brothers now in a 6-4 lead over Team Anderson. They're playing the sixth end. Team Anderson has hammer. Team Suzanne Burt and Team Dorsey Robertson in a 2-2 tie, playing the sixth end, and it is Team Burt with hammer.
Okay, same thing. Split
And
center
Team
here.
Danielle Inglis
like
trailing
the,
against
I like
Team
the
Mackenzie
picture.
Zacharias. Team Zacharias up 3-1. Team Inglis with hammer in the sixth. And the lone men's game going on, all Ontario
times
game.
seem pretty good.
It is Team Glenn Howard in a 6-1 lead over Team Pat Ferris. All the scores all the time, curling.ca/scoreboard. Another guard being called.
Yeah, Team McCarville's in a good position. Shot rock on the button, so they're going to want to guard that
Whoa, easy, Sarah. Easy.
as much as they can
Easy.
and
No, line's good. No, easy, Ash.
leave it up to their opposition to move that current situation around.
No. Got it, Sarah.
Wow, that came to a sudden.
Just like
I think that
backline.
picked.
I think it picked right at the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah.
It was looking. They were worried it was going to over curl, and I think it might have picked something up there.
What kind of way you say? Backline it?
Unfortunately, for Team McCarville, it leaves the door open for Team Brown. They can access that rock
I think so.
in the top button.
Just backline?
Yeah, like a 13-5, do you think?
I think that's perfect. Try and get to know.
Do you like that ice?
What are you thinking?
That's close.
Yeah.
Positive.
That's the guard, if anything.
Back line. Thinking like a 13-5. Does this look like skinny ice or is this close?
I think this is close.
Okay. Just a heavy draw.
Just trying to move that shot rock enough that they could potentially be sitting two here, Jeff.
Yeah, if they can get to the face of that yellow and with enough weight to just bump the current shot stone, the red stone back, just into the back forefoot, and out of it they would be sitting two, but they don't want to bounce off of this and leave a double. That's the risk.
Trying to get it by this guard. I think it's. Oh, what a sweep. Oh, superb shot.
Fantastic, yeah. Credit to the brushers on that
Yep.
one. That was called early, and they held that straight.
Yeah, good call there by Aaron Pincott, too, in the house. Very nice.
Well, it looks like that top guard breathed in, like it was just barely by it.
I literally was going to say, this looks like it's got plenty of room, but boy, it sure didn't.
Well, and just an awesome result for Team Brown. Two rocks dead buried, top button, top four.
And boy, you look back at the pick a moment ago, and just that's a frustrating experience.
Yeah, unfortunate.
One of the breaks of the game.
Yeah, that shot she just threw isn't there. If Krista's guard was able to keep sliding and finish whatever that was, an inch or 2 inches more, it is an unfortunate part of the game. Her top option might just be the run double here. A tough shot, but if made, it takes away all the trouble. The other option she's looking at is a potential draw to the back four. Very difficult and precise.
She did just make it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like stay like halfway.
Yeah, she had about half, eh?
Yeah.
She tapped that to here,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, okay. I mean, she was about here, right?
Yeah.
Thought she was pretty soft.
Yeah. Sorry?
Like, you think that's good?
Yeah.
About half?
So this looks like a bit of a limit the damage kind of call. They're going to try the same thing that Corinne Brown just made. Like similar weight. They're going to throw hack. Maybe that's a little more than Corinne, but just to remove one of those yellows from the forefoot. It will likely lead to a free draw for two, but at this point they're staring three in the face. So it's a bit of a concession call for two. But if made, it will take away that third point or even the option for it. It's just a bit safer than trying the run back, which you might not remove both stones with anyways.
Whoa, whoa.
Big shot here for Krista McCarville. They know it moves based on what Corinne Brown shot. I don't know. I think that's on the guard. Well on the guard.
No, and I thought I had a good this.
It's interesting. They thought, I heard her and
Aaron Edge.
and Kendra suggest that maybe Corinne threw hers a little soft. That's why it moved at the end. But I think we will watch that spot and we'll see that it definitely does curl.
Well, and I think they thought the weight was good. Judging by how far it pushed that guard over, it seems like it was plenty enough weight. And we saw Krista motion that she did put a backwards motion on that throw. So just a little confusion from Team McCarville as to what happened there. Nonetheless, it's a free draw for 3 to the forefoot for Corinne Brown.
Up 4-3, and a chance to significantly pad that lead. Desiree Hawes, Samantha Fischer working hard. They need forefoot. And I don't know. I do know. It's there.
Now you know.
Great sweep. Way to make a call there, Al.
Yeah. Well, and that's nice to see. That's the same path Corinne threw for her second point in the fourth end that slid deep on her. So made no mistake with that one, put it in the top forefoot. So
that's a big confidence boost all the way around for that team, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And another really well executed end. They're building ends really well. They were patient by just continually peeling the guard in that end and until their opportunity came. Unfortunately, it came as a result of a pick. But when it was presented to them, Corinne made a terrific shot on her first, setting that up. And
ironically, the second time they've scored a 3 in the sixth end today. We'll see what they do with it this time. They stole the 3 against Team Barker this afternoon. They scored it with the hammer to take a 7-3 lead. We'll take a quick look at the shooting percentages through 6 ends for these teams. For Team Brown, Samantha Fischer at lead, 77%. At second, Desiree Hawes having a great game, 94%. Erin Pincott, 79% at vice skip, throwing third. And Corinne Brown throwing a cool 90 for the night. That's pretty solid numbers for Corinne Brown. Team McCarville lead Sarah Potts, shooting 85. Ashley Sipola has been a struggle. She's at 65. Kendra Lilly at third, shooting 81. Krista McCarville at 77.
yeah, the numbers tell a bit of the story there, and it doesn't say how close that Team McCarville has been on all of their shots, and the 75 number, yeah, they're 3 out of 4, and that's what I would say they've sort of been. They're really close to making a lot of them, but they're not quite there. And you have an opponent in all of Team Brown that is executing with at the end it's an ideal execution. So they're up against an opponent right now who's playing really well.
You couldn't ask anything more from the Team Brown perspective. Every time they've not had hammer, they've managed to force and been in control of those ends, really. The first end was the nose hit from McCarville for the blank attempt, but the other ends, it's been McCarville being forced to take one. Hasn't been accidental. And in the ends that Team Brown has had hammer, they've had a chance to score 2 or more in all 3 of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's strategy and execution has been in line for Team Brown this game. So we'll see how they finish this one off. It's like you said, similar situation earlier today, and we're in the 7th end where the swing happened. And the way they're playing right now, if they keep that up, the same outcome isn't likely to happen.
No.
Close.
Yep, weight's good.
Whoa, it's got a curl.
Weight's good.
Close.
Yep,
Yep.
coming off. Just key.
Yep. Hard, Des. Hard line.
Back floor.
Hard, Des.
Key line.
Hard, Des. Good throw, Sam.
Good start. 2 rocks stacked on the center line, just where they wanted it. Second guard going up for Team McCarville.
So how would you change things up if you're Team McCarville at this stage? Or do you? Do you just try and make 8 shots and see what happens?
Yeah, you try to make your next 8 shots, and
Hey, just get it over if you can.
I think that one picked as well.
Oh, boy.
Mine's not bad, actually.
And it's when things aren't going well for you and they just go worse by bad breaks like that.
Leave it. We're going to run out of rings, so I'll leave it. Okay.
Like, we've observed and heard Team McCarville trying to figure it out throughout the course of this game. They've been giving each other feedback and talking about the sheet and really trying to figure out what's been going on and maybe the reasons for some of the misses. So if they keep doing that, there's no reason that they can't figure it out and where to put the broom and which weight they need to throw to make these shots. And like you said, just string 8 together and good things will happen.
It's kind of one of those situations for Corinne Brown, like, what do we do? All the options are good.
Running. Really running.
Well, they have to keep their intensity level up as well. They have to keep the pedal down. They're playing great right now. They can't, like you say, take an end off. They have to just keep doing what they're doing and maintain the same level of focus on every shot. Even though they have a pretty substantial lead, that doesn't matter.
Both these teams in the top echelon for shooting percentages for the event so far. Team McCarville shooting 78 as a team, and as is Team Brown for the event. Only Team Harrison at 80 and Team Barker at 79 have been better. And among skips, Team Corinne Brown is third among skips. Danielle Inglis leading all skips at 81%. I'm proud to say she's a co-worker, so
there you
cool
go.
to see
Yeah.
Danielle, good job. Holly Duncan at 79, and there's Corinne Brown at 78 for the event so far. Krista McCarville at 75% among the skips.
Whoa! Yep!
Sarah Potts, by the way, leading all leads
We gotta stick
at
our shooter.
86% for the event.
Yeah, I know.
So they do move those stones back. I guess mission accomplished there for Team McCarville. Nice shot.
Yeah, big time. They've opened it up. They've expanded that scoring zone and opened things up for themselves to try to generate some offense. Keep talking about those yellow rocks in the back of the house, and they haven't hurt Team Brown yet. They've managed to avoid that being the case, but
Cleat! Cleat!
Got to be careful navigating those rocks at the back, but so far in that situation in this game, Team Brown has done a superb job managing line calls to avoid jams that could have gotten them into trouble.
yeah, they've had to execute at a higher level and zero it in. You can't just hit it anywhere or it'll jam. So they've aimed small and made them. It's been really impressive. So Team McCarville here has an opposition rock behind their guard that they're going to attempt to freeze to here. And if made, would leave them in a pretty good situation all of a sudden.
Okay, line's good. Yeah, still gotta go a little. Line's good. Yes, you gotta go for line. Yes, you gotta go hard.
Trying to make sure this sits in shot rock. Will it over curl? No, great job. I don't know that it's going to be shot, though. It'll be second shot for sure.
Yeah, that's too bad. That was a great shot. Shot would have been better, but that may still work later. Depends how this end develops. It might be something that comes into play a little later.
It ain't going anywhere in a hurry, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, not a chance. Excellent throw. Excellent shot.
I don't hate this. I don't see how they can't freeze us again and get caught.
What's that? The freeze? Is that what you say?
Yeah, the back one is shot. Okay.
You like that, Jeff?
Well, yeah, they can.
48 on that one.
They just saw it, and they can follow it down. And if this freeze is made, it essentially eliminates the red that was just thrown.
Guess I should have phrased it. Do you hate this, Jeff?
Don't hate it.
No, don't hate it. That's good.
Line's good. Let it work if you can. Have to go.
No bounce on this line.
Line's good. Hard, Des.
Be a little light.
It's not gonna be there.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Well, that does open the door.
Yeah, that's the
Nice
first time
shot.
they've opened the door for Team McCarville. So we'll see how they take advantage here.
Can do this.
Corner?
Yeah, we can get shot here.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are the options here, Jeff?
Well, they have access to shot rock, so they could hit that and sit too, but I think they're going to play the long game and a little more patient and just try to go to the open side or underneath their corner guard here and sit shot that way and maybe deal with that shot rock at the back later.
Kendra Lilly.
Try to generate a bigger end. It's in play right now. There's lots of room. They have corner guards. They're sitting second shot frozen. It's a pretty good situation.
These sweepers, though, don't want to touch it.
Are we through?
Not the words you want to hear. Corinne Brown going to work on that stone. Well,
Sit for shot.
Well, it works.
based on the text messages you've been getting, Jeff, we know Brendan Botcher happened to be watching this game. Glad to have the Brier champion. And Brendan and his team will be in action this weekend. Reminder that they'll be playing at the Lacombe Curling Club in the America's Zone Challenge, taking on teams from Mexico and Brazil for a right to get their countries into the World Curling Championship in Las Vegas. That's the America's Zone Challenge. Tickets available at the Lacombe Curling Club website. There's Saturday night is sold out in Lacombe, which is great to see, and still some tickets available on that Lacombe Curling Club website to see the America's Zone Challenge. Team Botcher against Mexico and Brazil. Good luck, of course, to Team Botcher. Love to see those boys. Brendan, Darren, Brad, and Karik. Pat Jansen and Donnie B. Don Bartlett, the coach.
Yeah, good luck to all of them in Lacombe, the now home of Darren Moulding.
He might know a thing or two about the ice there.
Maybe.
I guarantee he will not be making the ice this weekend, though.
Yeah, that's true.
I can guarantee it. He will not be allowed within 50 feet of a pebbling can or a scraper or anything.
So the freeze was made by Team Brown, and now another freeze attempted here.
Oh, did that pick again? Yeah, that caught some debris again, and that's just a frustrating night. That seems to be the third. How many picks is that? You might have heard them say. I think that's 3 so far, and that one went sideways.
That's 3 just for Team McCarville.
It's kind of close.
Oftentimes those will go both ways. Tonight that's not the case. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I think that's, but not.
So it is.
Yeah, I think you want a little bit of a set.
No, I mean weight-wise.
Oh, yeah.
Team Brown sitting shot stone, and a chance to get a second shot in there.
Keep brooms down at this close.
You heard the instruction from Corinne to her front end. Keep those brooms down and close. Always good advice.
Well, and we've seen the picks, so it's something that's on the ice, maybe some debris. Something's coming from somewhere, and the cleaner they can keep the path in front of that stone, the less likely it is to pick.
Corinne Brown with a 7-3 lead here in the 7th end against Team McCarville.
No, never.
Close for line. Gotta go for line.
Yep. Hard, gotta go. Hard, roll it off.
That takes a move, and that will not get in behind. That was the desired outcome. They're still sitting shot.
Yeah, they were looking for top 4 buried there, and Yeah, just unable to sneak that one past the guard. But yeah, I think that Team McCarville can still come behind that corner, frozen to the back yellow, and sit shot stone.
Yeah, do you see anything else? No,
I think it caught them by surprise here. A little bit of a late move just across the hog line.
Yeah, they were right off of it early and then picked it up. And I think they thought it might have been a little heavy. So they were off of it, and then once it started to curl, it was too late. So maybe the spot was just different. That had sat for a while, so it could be. It just fooled them a little bit.
Just a reminder, we have 3 games on tap tomorrow for Curling Canada's YouTube channel with our friends at IKS Live, bringing you all these great pictures and audio. Our thanks to the friends in the trailer at IKS Live. Tomorrow, noon Atlantic time, it'll be Team Zacharias against Team Jill Brothers. 4 p.m. Atlantic time, it'll be Team Beth Peterson against Team Jacqueline Harrison. And at 8 o'clock tomorrow night, Atlantic time, it'll be Team Jeremy Hardy against Team Pat Simmons. All those games on Curling Canada's YouTube channel. And they do get shot stone out of it.
Yeah, they managed to hold the line just enough to remain shot stone. That port wasn't super easy to get through. There was the yellow rock that sat on the right side of the center line as we look down the sheet, but they did get through it and they did hold the line. So nice shot. They executed what they needed to. They're frozen shot stone behind a corner guard, so forcing Corinne Brown to try to freeze them out to take away the multiple score.
And this is Corinne Brown's last shot, this 7th end.
Whoa line, never for line. Never for line. Never.
Can we tap?
Yep.
Tap off?
Close.
Whoa. Curling.
There it goes.
We're back 12, yeah.
Will it be enough to get by that top yellow? It will not. But they might get a cheeky little roll here.
Might have rolled enough to sit shot.
My goodness.
How fortunate. They knew right away that she was a little wide. I don't know if it was release or slide that had that rock moving a little left of the target line, but the plan B was in play pretty early. They did make the audible, so it's not all luck sometimes. It's a good line call that can lead to those.
Yep. So, is there a shot for 2 there? That's not an easy one.
Yeah, I think she can just bump it and kind of roll towards the 4-foot. Just as she motions there with some light weight. She only has to move it inches.
Yeah,
so
she can see most of it, I think.
But it looks like she's gonna, whatever weight she's comfortable with, I think she can throw there. And as I mentioned, she doesn't have to move it out of the house. It just has to be further away.
So we took here.
It's funny you say the word audible, and I can tell you from seeing our social media channels during events when TSN's on the air, and of course that's one of Russ Howard's favorite words, I can't tell you how many times we get queried, what does audible mean when it comes to curling?
Just didn't watch Peyton Manning call enough games at quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. And for those who are wondering, it's a football expression. When a quarterback essentially changes the play at the line of scrimmage, he calls an audible. And that just changes the play, and similar kind of context in curling. When your original call isn't going to work out, but there might be a plan B, you're calling an audible.
They'll take plan A here for 2 points. Just a lightweight tap on that shot stone yellow. And
Yes! Whoa!
This definitely ran straight down this side for Corinne Brown, but this one's taking a move.
Sarah, really hard. Whoa, Sarah, whoa!
Should be okay.
Well done.
Yeah, good, well-managed shot.
We might have set the record in that end for most rocks in the 12-foot circle. But in the end, it's 2 points.
It was opposite of mixed doubles, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was nothing in the middle for once.
So it is a deuce for Team McCarville, and a bit of a relief for them, I'm sure, to finally get off the 1 train.
Yeah, they stayed the course in that end. The same strategy throughout. They were trying to freeze to opponent stones, use those corner guards. They managed to keep the play completely away from the center line, which created the space enough for them to generate that multiple. So well done in the end. They had an unfortunate pick in that end, and they managed to overcome it and built that multiple score. So good end.
So it will be Team Brown with a 7-5 lead, and Hammer coming into this 8th end.
Well, this has been the direction that they've had all of their multiple scores. They scored in 2, 4, 6, and now it's 8, and they've all been multiple scores. So let's see if this is just the way that's going to go tonight. And 2 down with Hammer for Team McCarville with only 3 ends to go. They have to go all in on this, and I think you'll see the double centers go up and going hard for a steal.
Reminder that the top 3 teams in each pool will get to the playoffs. Those playoff games are scheduled for Saturday. TSN with 5 draws of coverage on Saturday and Sunday.
Can't go too far.
So tell me about the wisdom of coming in behind as opposed to playing a tick. Is it too early to play a tick on?
Well, I think the depth of where that guard ended up is a little bit dictating the call here, because that's right in the middle. So it's really hard to put another guard up that doesn't leave a double peel. That isn't very makeable. When you throw those center guards, you either want it very tight or very high, so you can have the most amount of separation.
Okay, it's starting to go now. Just top 4 deepest. Just by top 4 deepest. Okay. Yeah, Aaron, go. Yeah, cross center a little bit. Cross center a little bit. Yep.
Of course, a lot of talk about tick shots this season with the World Curling Federation proposing, I say again, the tick shot for the World Championships. It's not a fait accompli at all. They're going to continue to discuss it, and they are actually going to use the no-tick shot rule. It was announced today by the World Curling Federation. They'll use it at the Winter Universiade that will take place in Lucerne, Switzerland in December. So they're going to test it out there. A no-tick shot rule. Now, we say a no-tick shot rule. It's not entirely accurate. Tick shots not allowed for any stones that are touching the center line, such as is the case for Krista McCarville's first stone. That would not be tickable. If it's not touching the center line, tick away.
Yeah, and I think it's like any rule change. It remains to be seen. We'll have to wait and see how it goes. Until these competitions are done, we can all speculate on how we think it might go, but they're going to try it out, so we might as well just wait and see what it leads to and how it changes the game.
10 or 10-5.
Team McCarville came in a little deep with that second center guard. And that's an advantage for Team Brown, as they will immediately make a move on that. Samantha Fischer.
Yeah, with this scoreboard, when they can hit, they should, and that's what they're doing here.
Whoa. Yep. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Go, Des, on the roll. Hard on the roll. Go, 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 go.
Should note, too, that the Grand Slam of Curling used the no-tick rule at its most recent event, although only, I believe, in the 8th and extra ends.
And I believe that's going to be the rule this coming week.
At the upcoming Slam in Chestermere.
Yeah, I believe it is. So another guard going up here behind the guard that sits halfway between the rings and the hog line.
Yep, hard. Gotta separate these guys a bit. Okay.
They don't want to leave them close together, obviously, but
unfortunately that's what they've done.
That's what they've done.
See Corinne excitedly go up and put the broom down for this double peel. Oh.
No, they'll just take the one. I think they were worried about running that red into the yellows in the house, maybe, but I don't know that would have. Could have.
And if it stuck around, it'd be maybe a not great outcome, but clearing the front's always good. This is okay, too. She's getting rid of the one that's on the center line, and that's going to be the problem, Rock, more so than the high one that's off center.
Des Haas.
Clean. You're fine. Good, Des.
Good, Des.
And there you go.
Nice pair, Sammy.
Thanks. You got it, Ash.
So these McCarville calls are all scoreboard dictated. They're down. They don't have the hammer. They know they need stuff out front. So
Only for weight.
see them take on all the risk they can in this end.
Yep, hard. It's really curling. Hard. Hard, 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 hard. We can't give an easy double. Yeah, right beside it. Whoa, 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 whoa.
And they're trying to get the separation, but it's not working out so good.
It'll be hard for Corinne not to call the double peel on this one.
Yep, yes, yes! Clean, yep, hard on the roll, Aaron, hard on the roll, hard on the roll.
And made emphatically.
Yeah, if it was a little snug out of her hand, it wasn't for long. Good sweep. Good shot.
Interesting note, by the way, that Team McCarville from the Fort William Curling Club in Thunder Bay, Team Brown from the Kamloops Curling Club in Kamloops, both of those clubs also sending teams to the Canadian Mixed Curling Championship. That will begin on November 7th at the Canmore Golf and Curling Club in Canmore. That'll be our next broadcast event on our YouTube channel, produced by IKS Live. Looking forward to having you along to watch that Canadian Mixed Championship.
I don't know if it's achieving anything better, though.
Team BC, skipped by Sebastian Robillard.
Then we can just rip them.
And Team Northern Ontario, skipped by Trevor Bonneau. And what's notable about that, of course, is that his second is none other than Mike McCarville, Krista's husband. And Trevor, of course, won the Canadian Mixed Curling Championship a few years ago and then went on to the World Mixed Championship.
There's an ex-teammate of Team McCarville on there too, Jen Gates.
That's correct. Jen played with Krista McCarville a couple years ago.
Go, 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 go.
And the double is not quite made.
Okay.
Just roll big, yeah.
So they opted there to switch to the hit and just move on to the next end. Things weren't going well here, and if they just continued to put the guard up, it would continue to get peeled. And at some point, they'd have to try to get rid of those stones anyways, so they decided that now was the time and got one out,
Yep.
but the attempt was for the double.
Hard! Hard! Hard!
Trying to avoid the jam here.
Good sweep.
And done. Just to complete the thought on Trevor Bonneau, he won the 2017 Canadian Mixed and went to the World Mixed Championship and won a silver medal
Okay.
in 2017. That was in Champery, Switzerland, and lost to Grant Hardy, who's a pretty solid player for Scotland.
So Team McCarville could go for the double here and try to just get out of this end, but they have the opportunity to hit and roll behind that top yellow that's in the top of the 12-foot. So, and it is touching the center line.
Go! Ash, Ash, Ash! Hard! Hard!
Are they going to be able to hold this in?
Sit.
It will stay, but it will be exposed. But one of those calls clearly just trying to generate something here.
Yeah, and it had the potential to sort of do both, right? To get rid of an opponent's stone and roll under cover. So now you could call that feeding two birds with one scone.
Jeff offered, ladies and gentlemen. He's here all week. Tip your waitress, try the veal. Trying to hold this. Will they hold the shooter? Will they even remove the red? Well, they'll move it enough that they will sit two, so mostly mission accomplished there.
So the yellow at the back does open up the opportunity for a freeze.
You know, we talked about these two teams and how active they are and how Krista McCarville's team really does most of its work in practice. They'd only played 4 games outside of their hometown coming into this event. They played an event in Kitchener-Waterloo, the KW Fall Classic, and posted a 2-2 record. All their other games have been in the Thunder Bay Super League at their home club. 3-0 in that club and beating Al Hackner.
Who's that?
Yeah, Hal Hackner. What's he done? Of course, we mentioned that he won a world championship in a Brier with Ricky Lang. Team Brown, on the other hand, they had played 26 games coming into this event, and they'd actually won an event in Alberta, playing in Leduc, and made a semifinal at another event in Alberta, the Saville Shootout, and also played in the Curler's Corner Autumn Gold in Curling Classic in Calgary at the Calgary Curling Club. So they'd had a few spiels under their belt coming into this, but there's Krista McCarville doing Krista McCarville things.
Yeah, what a shot. Just a perfect freeze to that back yellow stone in the back 8-foot. Just well thrown, well swept. Great line call here to be on this, and it's really hard to have a freeze that's better than that. It's dead nose on nose, basically touching.
I thought I definitely have good.
Great
points.
shot.
Yeah. I just wanted to say
Why wouldn't
So Corinne Brown essentially is going to try and follow it down, I guess.
Yeah, if she can sit on the face of it, that'd be a great shot for Team Brown, and it would take that red out of the equation. And she might have to draw on her next one, so this is a pretty good call.
That's fine. The tolerance is too bad.
Line's good. I think we're big.
Yeah, not a lot of handle. Yeah.
Line's good. Where? Top four. Hard. Rim. Backward. Oh, then. To it. It's coming off. Yeah, then if you're to it. Gotta go for line if you're to it. What are you? Yes, hard line.
It's pretty good. A little
Yeah.
separation there, though.
Pretty nice to side button. I think Team McCarville can just move that back a little bit and sit shot stone,
Yeah, then if you're to it.
which if made good, would potentially set up a little bit a steal.
Sorry.
But nice shot by Corinne.
They just touch
Touching the
us.
button.
Just wait.
We'll just correct ourselves on one point specific to Team Bonneau that's playing at the Canadian Mixed. It is
Yeah, we gotta
Amanda
tap it a little
Gates
bit.
playing
Yeah.
lead for
Gotta tap it a hair.
Team Bonneau, not
I just can't
Jen
throw
Gates,
back
as I
eight,
had said earlier.
'cause then I'm gonna bounce off, right?
Both good curlers, though.
The Gates girls, they can throw them.
Mm-hmm.
And Northern Ontario
Okay, go then.
always wins the fashion show at a national championship. Those
Line's
moose
good.
jackets,
Line's good.
outstanding.
Terrific.
Yeah.
So here's a shot from Krista McCarville. Are they going to get by that yellow guard in the top 12? It will. And will it get to the face? Will it be shot rock? Yes.
I believe
And
so.
yes.
Great
My
shot.
goodness.
Sweeping.
Good shot.
Great scrub by that front end of Sipola and Potts.
I think they might have left it in a spot, too, where Corinne will be unable to throw it hard and try to pick that out, because if they lose the back yellow as well, then the red that was thrown on Krista McCarville's first will score.
Yeah, I
So
think.
no option here, but the same path she threw in N4, the same path she threw in N6 for the 1 point this time.
Think on a wait? I think it's them, but you're gonna make her stick on it. Just enough ice, you think? Got too much ice? You need a hair less, Eric.
So a draw to bite the button.
no problem. Just majority of the rock has to be touching the button here.
Hard line.
It's lighter.
Hard. Okay. Okay.
And that will not get there, and it will be, it looks like, a single point for Team McCarville. And it will be Team Brown with a 7-6 lead now.
Well, I think they're going to measure these. I think it's closer than potentially our camera angle shows us, but either way, 2 great shots by Krista McCarville in that end. And the first one in the freeze on the backstone to set up this opportunity, and then just a beautiful shot on her second after a good shot Corinne Brown made, which could end up being the scoring point. We're not sure, but they made the decision to play it in the house early on in the end, and then when given the opportunity a little later, they took it. So they weren't totally off the gas when they made the decision to hit, because as we saw, when that rock stopped in the top 12, they used that as a guard for the rest of the end.
So we will get the official word. And it will be red with the point. So just like you said, Jeff, Krista McCarville really generating that steal on her own.
Yeah, just two unbelievable shots. And team shots. Those freezes and those delicate draws, that doesn't happen without all 4 players. It obviously, the thrower's contribution is huge to that, but credit to the brushers and the line calling there, too, to put it exactly where it needed to be twice in a row. So Team Brown still firmly in control of this game, up 1 with hammer, but if that last end, or how it ended at least, is any indication of Team McCarville clawing their way back, it's always in play.
So we go into the 9th end of this women's game at Queen's Place Amara Centre in Liverpool, Nova Scotia. All 5 games still on the ice. All of them with implications for playoff spots as well. As we told you earlier, we'll be back on the air tomorrow. 3 games starting at noon, 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. Atlantic time on Curling Canada's YouTube channel, produced by IKS Live.
On sheet A, the offense has slowed down. It started out with a 3, then a 4, then another 3, and that was in 3 ends, and since then, it's now in the 8th end of play, and only 1 more point has been scored. And it is now 6-5 for Team Brothers over Team Anderson.
Line's good. 14-3. Good shot. Good spot, Sam. Good judge.
Open side draw there for Team Brown. And again, a little bit of a departure from last end where they came around. This time they go open side. And I guess what's the objectives for both teams in this end?
Well, for Team McCarville, it's to steal. They're down without hammer. A force would play okay, and then they'd have to come back and get 2 and 10 and hope to win in an extra. And then that could play out just fine, but they're going to set themselves up as much as possible for a steal again.
But not too deep, Ash.
And their first guard was a nice tight guard, so they're able to throw another one right on top of it. And don't want this one to go too far, but they also didn't want it to hang out there and wanted to touch the center line. So 2 guards in a good spot. So Team Brown's going to want this rock in the top half of the house, and judging by what the sweepers are doing, it looks like it's going to slide further than that. So they might want to take this in the back 4, which isn't ideal. They would have wanted that one a little higher. So it's game on now around the center guards.
And that's when you're thinking maybe they, knowing that it was heavy, take it as far back as possible, perhaps.
Well, they could have. Get it a little further out of the way and potentially keep that 4-foot less congested than it will be here in the next couple of rocks if execution is achieved.
Okay, clean. Okay.
Shooting percentages, by the way, have tightened up now. It's Team Brown still out shooting Team McCarville 83% to 80. But at the skip position, Corinne Brown now at 80%, Krista McCarville at 83.
And that's indicative on the score. It's closer now than it was when we read the stats out before, and it is a good indicator. It's what you're shooting for the game. It's how successful you've been on the shots you've been asked to complete.
Even if we roll to a corner.
3/4 high, 8.5 smooth.
Double peel looks like the call here.
Yeah, 3/4 high, Corinne said, and they should clip the second guard as well and lose the shooter at the same time.
Des Haas shooting 95 tonight.
Sorry, Des.
It will leave the short center guard, and the shooter ends up as a corner guard.
Just needed to sweep that one a little more, and you heard Corinne apologize for not calling on the brushers a little sooner. Good throw.
But as you say, this situation is getting messier and messier by the stone.
Well, and where that rock is on the tee line, frozen to the yellow stone, it's why they didn't want that second stone from Team Brown to go past the tee line. It gave them something to use. A little elect for another guard here.
Yep. Kendra, hard.
Sweep is called right away.
Over and off. Off. Gotta sit. Unless we're checking. No.
They want that hole closed. I'm not sure.
It doesn't look like they were able to do that. It might be, if that's accessible, they're going to want to release that back yellow and have that out of the way. So
Hack.
that port isn't massive, but it's the right way where the rock will be curling towards how the port opens up.
Easy.
Yep. Whoa.
Weight's good.
Whoa.
It's going to have to curl a bit.
Close.
Will it get by that red guard? Yes, it does. Des Haas.
Terrific shot.
Yep.
It does leave Redstone shot, but it gets rid of that pesky yellow one for Team Brown. That was going to make sure that red was not easily removed. So really good shot.
You know, that's one of those things that maybe the casual curling fan doesn't quite understand. Getting rid of their own rock was a really good thing there.
Hell, it was the most detrimental rock
Yep.
on the sheet for them at that point in time.
No. Line's good. Clean it. Ashley, clean it. Okay, it's over curling, so Ashley, clean it. Gotta sit. Sit.
That will close the hole.
Slash that.
Yeah, well done.
Half
They
rock.
achieved what they wanted to. They
might
didn't
come
want to
into
allow
it,
for
but
Team
I
Brown
think
to be able to
you just
come
gotta
through
open it
that
up at
port
this
again,
point.
hit that yellow rock, and then sit, I believe it'd be 3 at that point. So we're going to see some more peels here, see how many of these top stones Aaron Pincott can get rid of with one throw here.
Yep. Hard.
A little less traffic out in front, but still well guarded is the shot stone.
Yes, there is a hole, eh?
Two of the guards are no longer there, and I think that's good. That's objective achieved. It would have been really hard to get rid of all of them. And I think there's still a port through those top guards, and so the guard will go up to eliminate that port. So Team McCarville's in protect and hope mode. That rock that's currently shot rock, they see that as their steal point. So they're going to do everything they can to keep that hidden and protect it for the rest of the end, and maybe it'll score for them.
Hard, Sarah, keep going, tap it, tap it, tap it, tap it.
They're okay, but there's a double peel there now.
There is a, yeah. And that'll make that yellow-red combination in the forefoot tough to guard, as they may be able to get it with both turns.
High this side, I think.
Yeah, they can make a lot of granite go away in a hurry.
Yeah, if they can ever nudge that yellow out of the way as well, it makes any port that a guard would create non-existent.
Whoa! Yep! Yes! Yes! Hard the shooter!
Trying to get it high side.
Well, they got the reds out of there, but they left their shooter a little closer than the red or than the yellow was previously.
Shooter!
But Krista will still have to make the perfect guard.
She will, yeah.
Certainly takes one turn away from Team Brown, though.
Yeah, she can guard a little more of what would be the clockwise rotation coming in.
Attaboy. Bill Shorehart is smiling right now. That's
Good.
it. That's he's the one that pounded that into me.
I think that looks okay. That's close. Let's go here.
It's inclusive to both lefties and righties.
Very, very true. Krista McCarville really ramped up her game these last 2 or 3 ends, which we could have told you was coming from a mile off.
Anyone who's watched her over the years knows the level of talent and skill that she has, and her team. They weren't going to stay away for long.
Okay, go then. Go a little bit then.
Line's good. You can go.
Yep, go. Hard. Sarah.
Hard, Sarah.
Hard.
Trying to get this to curl a little more.
Whoa.
Should be okay, though.
Looks like they got it covered.
I can tell you we've got our first final of the night. Team Glenn Howard with an 8-3 win over Team Pat Ferris. So Team Howard improves to 3-1 and in pretty decent shape to make a playoff spot. Team Ferris drops to 0-4.
You want to just play it thin at all, or?
Not really, no. Okay. You just gotta be careful where that comes off there, right?
Yeah.
So the peel's the call here to open things up again and force Team McCarville to guard one more time to try to make that shot stone count.
Let's go.
And that they won't be able to run, obviously, their yellow rocks into that. They are staggered now. And
well, the good news for Team Brown is if the guard goes up again from Team McCarville, she has the button that she can draw for her 1 point.
And that said, even giving up one, having Hammer coming home, not terrible.
Not terrible, no.
Doesn't really change an awful lot.
No, not too much. I don't think that yellow's going anywhere, so.
Still got to make the guard, Krista McCarville.
Yep. Right back.
It's the same shot she just threw. So odds are she's going to be close.
I like her chances.
Okay, go then. Go on it.
Sarah then.
Sarah, go. Hard, Sarah. You really gotta go.
Really gotta go.
Really gotta go, Sarah.
Hard.
So this one's a little
Really
further
gotta
out.
go.
On it on the outside sweep to make it curl.
Hard, Sarah.
That's got to curl a long ways.
Hard, 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 hard.
Okay, you're
Good,
good.
whoa.
Good sweep. Good sweep.
Gave it all they got.
Great job. So we saw this draw to the button coming from a mile off, knowing that Corinne Brown was likely going to have to play this. She had the draw to the button last end as well. Came up a little short.
I think she knew she had to play this too.
Yeah.
I think she saw how this end was going, and she's probably been preparing herself. Well, I know I'm going to have to draw the button here. This is how I need to get there. This is how I need to make this shot. And Corinne's played really well in this game. She's drawn really well. She's playing good. The whole Brown team has full marks to them. They've had a surging team, McCarville, and they've held their own for sure.
Line's great.
No, I think you're big.
Sweep for T. Line's great. Head to curl.
No, right off. Right off.
Nope, I don't think that's going to stop in time. And it will be another steal of one for Team McCarville.
Corinne said that out of her hand, that she thought that was big, and I'm not sure the brushers were convinced. They may have thought that path was going to be a little slower, and it stayed in the good stuff, as they say, for a little longer, and we just didn't see it take that curl and slow down. So it might have been a spot that they just didn't know that well. So that's a tough one for the skip, to throw in a new spot when they have to pin it. But like you said, Al, it's 7-7. It's tied. They have the hammer. It's a position that if you asked Team Brown before this game started, would you take this? I think they probably would.
That said, right now they're in the midst of giving up a deuce and 2 steals. How do you settle down? How do you settle the nerves and kind of get yourself prepared for a 10th end under those circumstances?
Well, hopefully they've practiced this situation enough. Hopefully they've gone through this and they know what their game plan is coming into an end that's tied with hammer, and that's all that matters right now. They know the sheet as well as they can. They've played 9 ends on it. They've done really well moving in this direction. They've managed to score multiples, so and if not for 2 amazing shots by Krista McCarville in the 8th end, they would have had another one. So yeah, it's just leaning on that training and that practice, and I'm sure they've gone through this situation more than once. They know how to play it. They know what to do. So it's just a matter of going out and executing it.
And talking to Alison McInnes before the game, that was one of the themes that she did talk about. Focusing on process and not outcome. And this is a classic example. Focus on the process of being in a tie game with hammer coming home.
Yeah, for sure. It's not about what happened before at all. It's not about we're going to win this game, we're going to lose this game. It's we need to go out and execute the plan that we have in the 10th end of a game to win.
Good judge.
So in front of the T line, that's already a victory over last end, or the 8th end coming when they were behind T line.
Yeah, it's a good spot.
Yeah.
Good first guard by Team McCarville as well.
Sorry. Good judge, guys.
Easy, Ash. It looks like it's over, so.
They want this one as high as possible, barely over the hog line if they can.
No, I think it's. Okay, yep. Good.
A little closer together than they may have wanted, but they're both covering the center line. They're 6 feet apart, so Not bad.
Again, I'm focusing on Team Brown, specific to how the experience they had this afternoon and how they managed to cope with it. Like you said right at the very beginning, they have to shove it right out of their minds. Is that easier said than done?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
it is.
it's not just my imagination.
Yeah, no, of course it is. It's a bit of a cliche, right? You just forget about it and move on. If it was only that easy.
Right.
But Team Brown can have a lot of confidence in how they've played so far in this game. They haven't struggled. They've played really well. So it's not like they're just letting Team McCarville back in. Team McCarville's earned it. They've played great.
So back 8, I'd say. Back 8, back 12.
Yeah, if you're Team Brown right now, you just lean on the confidence that you've gained by playing as well as you have to get to this point in the game.
And they executed their first 2 shots.
Yeah, they're in great position right now. And I think both teams are relatively pleased with how the first 4 shots have gone.
Wait's nice.
Yep. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Yep. 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 Hard. 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 Hard.
Oh, great scrub.
Hard. 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 Okay.
Tap and release the back stone. Pretty good.
And now the peels start. Des Haas. Highest percentage of any player in this game tonight, 94%.
Light clean. Light clean.
Looks like that'll only go up after this shot. Not much room to go up, but
Well, she needed the light clean from her sweepers there too.
Yeah. So you notice we talked about the game plan going in that they would have one, and they obviously do because they don't tick those stones. So that's something that they have decided as a team that they don't do. They put rocks in the 4-foot instead. So that gives the team some confidence and peace of mind knowing that they have that plan. It's not, what are we going to do now? It's the 10th end and we need to go win. They clearly knew what they were going to do going in, and they executed it really well.
Well, see, that's the thing that I've always said about strategy. You could have the worst strategy in the world, but if you make 95% of your shots with bad strategy, you're going to win a lot of games.
Yeah.
And not to say that is bad strategy. That's sound strategy the way they played it too. But they made the shots. That's the key.
Yeah, and knowing what what is asked of you before the end even starts, I think is helpful. And the rehearsal of it, like I said, I guarantee you they've worked on this in practice.
Well, you and I talked about that before the game, about teams that change strategic course in the middle of an end. And that was one of Linda Moore's pet peeves when she used to be on TSN, is if you make a plan, stick to the plan.
Yeah, don't just change it because of a gut feeling or an instinct. And sometimes that's okay, but if you, in this particular situation, if you have something scripted, you stick to that because you've scripted it because it works for you.
So Team Brown sitting 2 in the 4-foot.
That's not even halfway. Yeah. That's not quite halfway.
So a couple options here, Jeff.
Yeah, I think they're going to decide to either address what's going on in the house or where to put the next guard.
I almost feel like you have to come in.
And do what? Tap this? Yeah?
Yeah,
Tap
freezing
it?
there doesn't really do much. Right?
Freezing. No, we can't freeze it. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, bringing the play into the house here, there's 4 rocks to come for each team, so it's thirds first right now, and they don't feel like throwing another guard is going to be helpful, as that first guard is not even halfway. They use that term, and if they put another one, it might be too close together, or they wouldn't be able to get it buried, and it would just be peeled off. So the tap on the rock in the top of the 4-foot to potentially create a pocket behind the button.
Trying to get this to curl.
Really
Sarah Potts. That's hanging out there, though.
Hard. Go, Ash, go. No, okay.
Did not get enough, and it still leaves Team Brown sitting a couple.
I think weight was the major reason that didn't curl for them. They only wanted to bump that stone to the back 4, and that looked like about hack weight, which would have removed the yellow had it been hit squarely. So just a little up on the throw, which caused it to run straight.
Clean.
Now the peel called for Aaron Pincott.
Whoa. Whoa. Off.
Nice pair, Des. Oh, sorry. Aaron stopped it.
A little tap.
So that's a success already for Team Brown. All the play in the house, too.
Yeah. So Team McCarville's going to have to generate their potential steal in the house. Do it with freezes and taps, opposed to hiding behind guards. Let's get our first look at Coach Rick Lang.
Coming down the ice at an aggressive saunter. Freeze, tap,
Yeah, there's
red on red.
a couple different
Tapping on
options.
the nose would be pretty
There you
nice. No, I'm saying just tap to this, because then she can't blast. No. Peel. Okay, then what do I do on my next one and when she peels?
This one? Yeah. Yeah.
You don't like trying that now? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we'll come over here a bit more.
So they're going to throw up the guard, and I think what Coach Lang was saying there is they almost want to delay it one more rock. It's too soon to bring it in, knowing full well that Corinne Brown's going to come up and peel this with Aaron Pincott's next one, but they're going to put it up, and then it will likely be peeled, and then they'll do the little tap on the red one on their next shot. It just gives them, it sequences a little better as far as how many rocks are left. It puts it both of them on Krista McCarville's rocks, which gives Corinne Brown less time to remove those stones if good shots are made.
I added pretty big. Line's
Hey,
tight.
Ashley! Ash! Okay. Still, Ash, we don't want to overcurl. Oh, okay, not in. No. We're in? Okay. Well, it's overcurling now, too. Okay.
They wanted to leave the red in the house exposed to maybe bait
Do you like
Team
that?
Brown to actually hitting that, and then they would have a guard that they could go around. So that's why they didn't want it to quite curl as much as it did.
But as you predicted, the peel is called for Aaron Pincott.
And I don't know that she would have walked up and peeled it if the red was exposed. That'd be a choice they would have to make at that time.
Little tap.
But now we'll see the little tap to set up a pocket at the back and have two reds in front of
This
it.
is where it curled, my other one curled, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, I went like there.
Yeah.
And that curled.
I don't think I shot it.
Thinking back 8, but I also have to hit 2 rocks. Like back 12 I need. No. Kendra, I gotta shoot a little more weight, like back 12.
Okay.
I gotta hit 2 rocks.
Okay.
Explain what she's talking about, 2 rocks.
Well, every time it hits one of the rocks, it loses force. So with each time a rock contacts another rock, some of the force is exchanged, so it won't go as far.
okay.
If she was just moving one rock, the initial weight would have been fine. But since she's hitting that red rock, which is going to subsequently hit the yellow rock, it's going to need to be a little harder to begin with, so it does push that yellow rock as far as they need it to go.
Jeff Hoffert, are you a coach or a physicist?
A coach, definitely.
Sounded like a mathematics, but you're absolutely right. That's always something that's got to be taken into account.
Whoa, 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 Sarah! Hard, Sarah! Hard, Sarah, hard!
Trying to get to the nose. Looks like they have. Very nice.
Wow.
So I think it bumped it a little further than they would have wanted. They wanted that to sit somewhere where they could use it. There's a double available here for Team Brown.
Is that too much ice?
I think this is close.
8.5 smooth?
Yeah.
Bounce the top rock off the other one, off the back rock. The back rock will go through the port, and
They want to hit this high side, though,
they
obviously.
do. Yeah, leave nothing but yellows in the house.
Nice stroke here. Let's go.
Two-thirds.
There it was. 2/3 of the rock is what they're looking for.
Throw 8 smooth.
Oh, I thought 8.5 smooth.
Oh, okay.
Careful now.
Big. Close. Yep.
Closer to 8 smooth, I think.
Go. Close. Yep. Yep. Hard. Hard. Gotta go.
Just like that.
Well done. Good shot.
Very nice.
Called and made.
Now really only one option for Team McCarville.
Yeah, they have to. They can't freeze this one nose on nose because I don't think they'll be shot. They have to shade it a little bit to the button side, to the center line side, just to ensure the fact that they're shot stone at the end of this. If they're not, Corinne won't even have to throw. So we'll see this just slightly on the center line side of that yellow stone that sits in the back 4 foot.
And we talked about how these teams would approach the 10th end. Team Corinne Brown, 7 shots made so far. So well done by them.
From those few that
Yeah,
were
and
hanging,
it's
but
pretty
it took
clear,
more
I
to
think,
miss.
that they put the previous ends in their rear view and just focused on the task at hand.
Yeah, I'd say it's close, right?
Just having a discussion here about line and weight. Can tell you another final. Team Mackenzie Zacharias finishing off an 8-4 win over Team Inglis. Team Zacharias improving to 2-2, leaving both those teams with 2-2 records, I believe. And we'll see this last rock
Line's good.
from Krista McCarville.
Line's good. Room.
Line's really good. Yep.
Whoa, room.
Yep.
Yep. Hard.
Got to be there for shot rock.
Really hard. Go, go, go.
Hard.
Got to move it on this line.
And I don't think it got there for shot. And it will be a concession. And an 8-7 win for Team Corinne Brown to stay alive here at the 2021 Home Hardware Canadian Curling Pre-Trials presented by New Holland. Jeff Hoffert, it's been a great night with you.
Thanks, Al.
Really enjoyed this game, and you can look for us tomorrow. Games at noon, 4 p.m., 8 p.m. Atlantic time. So for now, we're going to say good night from Liverpool, Nova Scotia.